Are you waiting for your spirit to honor you before you honor your spirit? Or what if we explore what if your spirit is actually waiting for you? I know that you might be puzzled by what I'm asking you, and I've been in that puzzling moments myself. We tend to keep that spiritual honor as a transaction, that if we have some benefits, if we will have a benefits from it, then we will somehow support that idea. If there is no benefits out of it, then it's not worth our time or our energy or our effort. What if actually honoring yourself will create that uh, amazing benefits beyond your understanding? And it is an inside job. It's not something so tangible, and you cannot find that proof until you actually start trusting more that evidence will show up in the right timing, beyond your understanding, beyond your widest imagination, for for the highest good for others and for the highest good for you. And I know that it might be sounding like too much. I better stay safe and just wait until until there is enough evidence for that. And yes, it requires courage to return back home to yourself and to actually guide others to return home to themselves. I've been through that journey and continue on that journey, and it's ever evolving one. It's not something that was done one time and then it should stay in that place. It will continue to evolve. It continues to deepen, and it requires trust, and it requires allowance for your spirit to start working with you and through you. And in order to do that, it's keep remembering and returning back to your own home, to actually honoring yourself with your mind, with your body, with your heart, where that connections, and when your presence start expanding, uh, and you experience more of that connection with your spirit, and having that deeper trust, and start operating more from your inner authority, and not looking for the outside evidence of how you should operate, uh, what will save you, who get to save you. You actually get to stand in your power and using your voice and become the best version of yourself, not just for yourself, for your peace of mind and peace of heart, but to be able to make a difference for others, to ripple that to the world, to live your legacy on a daily basis. And especially if you in mid-age and your power is rising and you still in confusion, why my power is rising, you're not sure if it's good, if it's acceptable, if I can trust for that power. You might be feeling that it might lead you to more being over controlling, and you better be less controlling. You start understanding that that authoritarian power is not something that is yours. It's the outside control, that it's outside programming that was developed to keep you small, to keep you in that bounds of so you more confused and you not actually you're not using your own power, and you're not connecting with yourself on much deeper levels, so you can experience that deeper connection with your spirit, and becoming so powerful and using that power for good, using your voice and serving others with your gifts and making the difference for yourself, through difference for yourself and for others. And I know that it might be challenging. You might be at the very beginning of your journey to awaken, and to return back to your home. And like I had mentioned, yes, it requires courage. It requires to step more into the power, to find that courage more. Yes, the evidence will also show up when you return back to your home and you operate from your inner authority. All of a sudden, your reality starts shifting. You start experiencing some beautiful blessings, and many of those blessings, you start coming to realization that the things that you were resisting the most are the greatest blessings. But and it will require some grace and forgiveness, because you might be questioning yourself and being harder on yourself, like, well, why did I waited so long? Why I was insisting of controlling my circumstances? Why I was insisting of resenting myself and holding grudges against myself and others, and not stepping more into my power and returning home. And it requires a lot of grace and a lot of self-love, to have that deeper understanding that all was there for you, to discover that there is a possibility for you to start honoring yourself and connecting with your spirit, and that you can live that awakened, conscious, grounded, and transformative life, with the best version of yourself, where you can enjoy your life and love your life and experience those blessings, and also be of service to others with sharing your story, with sharing your experiences, not in some controlling, manipulated ways that people have to do the way you did them, but as an inspiration and empowerment, with your presence and creating a safe space, uh, presence, and sharing the experiences, creating that safe space for others to be heard, for others to experience their presence maybe for the first time, or and expand that presence together in some conscious, grounded communities and authentic communities, where you start expanding your presence and becoming more ready to operate from your inner authority and develop more of that courage, that you stepping more into that best version of yourself, and more ready to be of true service to others. And it doesn't feel that it's a work, that it's hard, but that you actually stepping more to your soul calling, and stepping more to your purpose. And it doesn't feel like so much anymore as the work, but the mission, and in a lot of alignment with your soul, with your body, with your heart, with your mind, that yes, it requires for that honor of the mind, the heart and body, and be open to the possibility, and the evidence will show up, which requires again that trust, that it's on the way, that your blessings are on the way, that the evidence on the way, the one that you cannot even somehow imagine or describe through your mind, and but you will experience the evidence of them. And when you start reflecting back on how your journey was evolving and where you end up going and what blessings you were receiving, you will be at awe. You will feel the bliss and overwhelming unconditional love experience in your heart and in your body and in your mind, that like, wow, it is amazing. I wish somebody told me and that I can experience such a blessing in my life. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm creating more on my journey to keep operating more from my inner authority, from the place where I keep remembering who I am, operating from that best version of myself, and keep evolving that version, because we are multidimensional, and we get to, it's so easy to be attached to some old versions of us and that no longer serving us, and we possibly even grieving about that version of us, and it becoming even more challenging to somehow let it go, and to let the new version to be more integrated with you, and to be in that honoring space of yourself, and honoring of your spirit, and that co-creation with the source power, where it's powerful beyond the measure. It's not the controlling or authoritarian power. It's the loving unconditional love power, where it can transform a lot in your experiences and experience of others, that you can be that role model for others beyond your understanding. You might not even always know till the end how that make a difference. You might start hearing back from some that something that you did, and it was shown or shared with the others, was serving for the others. You might start seeing that all of a sudden the person that you knew, and you had some engagement or interactions, and sometimes that interaction possibly wasn't the best because of the resistance, because of the resentment, because of lack of understanding why you had some crazy interactions, but you were trusting and allowing spirit to work through you, and all of a sudden the person is more awakened, and start living their lives more consciously, and enjoying their life more, and finding more evidence that is possible for them, and having more of that taste, that the challenges and the resistance, once you let go of those, can be of true service, that you can experience some blessings and amazing miracles, and all of a sudden you want to experience more of that. And it doesn't mean that you will be just keep living in blessings and miracles. The evolution is ongoing, and you will be start facing some challenges again. And why once you start tasting that inner authority, and deepening your trust, you also will be able to start realizing quicker when the new challenge is in front of you, not stucking yourself in resentment in the new challenge so much, but having understanding, well, blessing is on the way, so let's open myself more, with my mind, with my heart, with my body, and honor myself more, and create that connection with the spirit, to allow that spirit to work through you, and to actually guide you with the answers that you're seeking for, and eventually uh, it will start showing that was that route for that blessing to show up in your life, and then you can celebrate and enjoy, and not treat that as a transaction and like, oh, okay, that blessing is done, so it's okay, and don't disregard, enjoy and celebrate, and embody more of that blessing, so when the next again challenge shows up, you remember more and can quicker snap out and become more conscious and grounded, to bring to move through another challenge, and getting quicker to the blessings, because that's what as unconscious people we do many times, to create some stuckness, to create some comfort zones, resentment towards ourselves, grudges towards ourselves and others, and stucking ourselves in a certain place and not allowing that honor of ourselves, and not allowing honor of our spirit to work with us and through us. And that can be very detrimental until we feel more ready again to step more into our source power and using our voice, and can experience more of those miracles and blessings even on a daily basis. So it's really up to you where you want to be. You want to keep waiting, or you want to keep experiencing some amazingness in your life by returning back to your home, operating from your inner authority in connection with your source power, and standing in it and using your voice and making a meaningful and conscious difference for yourself and for others. So that's the message for today that I want to share with you. And I'm also kind of experienced those, and I've been guided by my spirit, and every time I'm connecting and more. And yes, there are some even disconnected moments that I experience, and it became after years of being on that journey, it became easier to remind myself quicker that I get to return if I somehow disconnect myself, and by feeling that I get to be more in control of myself. Or maybe there are some experiences and some very controlling people that are involved in my life, and it's something that it might be so easy to somehow becoming more kind of compassionate for another human being, and dishonoring yourself in the process. So it's not serving anybody, because it will start creating that resentment and grudges. So returning back as soon as possible to yourself, honoring yourself and honoring your spirit, and continue that evolution, and deeper trust and allowance will be also making that difference for you and for others in a much better way than the one that when you attempt to do it alone. When you attempt to do it from the outside authority in a controlling way, overpowering way, attempting to fix anybody. You're not here to fix anybody or save anybody. You are here to become a best version of yourself and expand your presence, so it will serve you and will serve others, and become living your legacy and create that role modeling that it's possible for others to become their best version, that they can operate from inner authority, that they can stand in their source power and using their voice. And that's how we will transform this world of that polarities of that controlling powers, and transforming the fears with that controlling, because that's many times that over controlling is to instill more fear, so you not stepping into your power, not honoring yourself and your spirit. So because those people that are over controlling know that you are a very powerful human being, and they are concerned what can happen, how this world can be transformed when you actually stepping more into your power and operating from your source power, and how amazing that world could be, and how loving, and how joyful, how peaceful, how light, with much more light and compassion that can be experienced. And we all want that. We just not somehow feeling that it's possible for us, because so used to that over controlling and relying on outside authority. And it's time for us to step more to our inner authority and co-create with our spirit, honoring ourselves, honoring our spirit, and making a huge difference to to ourselves and others. And I'm inviting you to connect when it feels in alignment. You can also explore my website, awaken-women.com. I'm posting there, publishing the blog posts on the different topics that are actually are coming to me through my connections with my spirit, what I get to share on a monthly basis, and how to put that from physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual components to create that wholeness, because those are components important to experience more of that groundness, that conscious. It's not just on one component. We many times stacking ourselves like, okay, let's just work more on the physical, on our body. Let's maybe just somehow shift some perspectives. But well, when maybe we're not ready with our hearts yet, because we still working through some grieving, or through some hurts that we're not feeling ready to open our hearts in the fear of potentially being hurt again. So those things get to be honored and be more open to experience that deeper connection with yourself and deeper connection with your spirit, to experience that connection that you can stand more in that source power and using your voice to make that difference for yourself and others. So I trust that it's helpful, that gives you some foods for thought. There's also some free resources on my website, Power Generator, where some simple prompts can also help you with that reconnection to yourself and create that amazing experience. I had some beautiful feedback from people who use it, including my family members and some friends and members of my community who experience some amazingness using that free resource. So if you feel that we could co-create together and expand our presence and making something beautiful together, expand on our vision, my sole mission is to support especially mid-aged women and I would love to especially support the visionary and heart-centered women uh, to stand more in that power and using their voice and expanding our presence together. So feel free to reach out. You can put in the comments connect, or go to the website and schedule some time, and would love to connect with you and expand our presence and see how we can co-create together. So without further ado, sending so much love, joy, peace, light, and compassion to you, my dears, and stay tuned for what's next. Take care.